What's up? What's up? It's time for Done Way Past Funny with your host, G.D. Fenderson. Join us as we take a look back at the early works of seasoned comedians before they were seasoned with this week's guest, Epic! It's time to get down and get dope with Done Way Past Funny. Hi, I'm G.D. Fenderson, certified forensic humorist and host of Done Way Past Funny. Thank you for joining us as we continue our interview with Epic. Enjoy. I have a comedian, he was on this not too long ago, his name is Camilo Diaz, and he did a joke about the Browns that was just so hilarious to me. And I apologize. I'm going to say the joke here, but for the actual broadcast, I am going to find the clip and insert it so people can hear the way it should be done.
Okay.
Not my version. But he says, I think it's something like, what's the difference between a peep show and a Browns game? And the difference is that after 4 quarters, there are more people watching the peep show.
That's funny. Yeah.
So, and I think that's hilarious.
Browns. Where the Browns fans at? Cleveland. Really? What's the difference between the Cleveland Browns and a peep show? A peep show has more viewers after 4 quarters. That's true. It is absolutely true.
And it's very true. Which is like the basis of all comedy, right? The truer it is, the funnier it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was afraid of messing up because he does one-liners and I'm a storyteller, and I'm not sure I can do a one-liner without turning into a short.
The whole story, yeah.
Yeah, a whole story with the plot and So, back when you used to interviewed a lot of people. Now we're done way past funny, and so we usually deal with comedy or the comedy business. But when you were interviewing people, about how long into an interview could you say, "Oh, this one's going nowhere"? I'm really sorry about that.
That happened quite a bit, honestly. There's people that I thought that were going to be really good on the show.
Right.
It just was like
people like me that were very good on the show. No.
Absolutely. Yeah, there was it would almost be immediate. It would almost be immediate when I started, because with anything in life, if you don't have the chemistry,
Right.
it just doesn't work, and sometimes it was just like that. Maybe they were having an off day, maybe I was having an off day.
Right.
But yeah, I can think of maybe 5 off the top of my head that just didn't pan out. But I would still try to make it funny somehow.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's because that's what you have to do. You can't let the show die because you have a bad
yeah.
guest. Yeah.
But I would cut them a little short though. I wouldn't try to force it too long. Like I would, I'd have longer guests where, like we would have a genuine conversation and just start talking about all kinds of stuff. And then there are some people that I don't know if they understood exactly how an interview worked. But they didn't want to talk about the stuff that, like, the reason why they were even on my show. And it's like, well, this is like the perfect time to do that. Like,
yeah.
This is why you're here, like, yeah. So sometimes it just didn't pan out like that.
Now, when it comes to comedians, like I said, you had a couple of regular comedians on the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Chris
mean
Kettler, Marcus.
Marcus
I can never remember Marcus's last name. Um,
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez. I'm sorry. I was just no Marcus is. I always think of him as no Marcus, and he was something of an impressionist.
Yeah. hmm He would do
Um,
our weather, and he would do
right.
weather in different voices, and he'd actually like dress up as the person he was impersonating. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yes, but not every comedian that you got to interview were of that. I'm going to say of that professional caliber, because let's face it, a lot of comedians start off and they think they're the shit because they have like
Mhm.
5 funny minutes,
Yeah.
but they don't know how to interview, or they don't have their like an electronic press kit together,
Exactly.
or they don't have the business side down. They got their 5 or 10 minutes and they're like, oh, I'm the next so and so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, I would get a lot of people that would because we even had our website and stuff, and we even had it open to where like if you're interested in being on the show, like you fill out this form, you would add like a headshot, maybe if you had a video clip of something you did, you know what I mean? Like I would have them attach it to it, and the submissions I would get sometimes were just like, really, this is a headshot you chose, like it's or like this is a clip you chose, like this is your best work, like you know what I mean, like
Yeah. Yeah.
um and so one of the things I told you when I was going to do this show is I did want to kind of go into that a little bit.
Have
um
at it.
yeah, so if you're, I mean, and this applies to all entertainment, not just comedians, right?
Yes.
A press kit is very important. When whenever you go into any field of entertainment, you need to make sure that you have a solid press kit. Invest some money on an actual headshot. Don't just take like some Instagram picture that you think looks all right, because they're not high quality a lot of times. And so when we're doing a live show and we're showing a picture of you and it ends up being all pixelated because of the resolution of it, it's just not a good look on you. You know what I mean? You want to yes, you're funny, you're a comedian, but you also have to be professional as well. Uh, show up to things on time or even early. You know, uh, take the extra time to network and meet new people that's doing a similar thing you are. Um, because they might have tips or tricks that you don't know, and vice versa, right?
Right.
Because everything's a learning experience.
Yeah.
There's people on different levels, so you just starting out and you have somebody that's a little bit more tenured. Um, just picking their brain, getting some ideas from them. Um, and there's nothing wrong with going to like a comedy workshop and working on your trade. Um, but yeah, a press kit is very important. And comedians, especially, they try to make their press kit funny, and they'll put things just weird things on there like as a joke. But that needs to be your business side. You know what I mean? You need to be very professional with that. Pay for a photographer, get a good headshot, get a few different ones, different angles, different things. Um, Make sure you're updating your bio as you're doing new things,
Yeah.
and make sure you have a comprehensive list of like anytime you do any type of big show, make sure you do that. What type of comedy you do, because that's another thing too. Um, because depending on the venue, they might only accept clean comedy, or they might not care, or maybe they want you to adjust certain things for that particular event. Um, so being very like aware of that, being aware of the different venues and the different type of shows that are out there and adapting to that. Um, because that's one big thing with comedy. Like you need to be adaptable.
All right.
You need, because every room's different, every stage is different, every audience is different, and you have to kind of like figure that out early. Okay, these jokes are going to work with this type. These jokes are going to work with that type, and really gauge the room. Um, so yeah, that's my biggest things. Like get a professional headshot, have a professional bio, spend some extra money if you have anybody that you know. I would even say this too: if you have like a local broadcasting school, those people are eager to put their skills to the test, and there's even times they can use equipment
All right.
from the school and sign it out and stuff. So that's a great way to get a professionally shot comedy special without spending a lot of money.
All right. I have not even thought of that route.
I did towards the end, so like I needed a lot of help with the show because there was a lot of stuff I had to juggle. So I actually got an assistant from there.
Okay.
Ashley too, if you remember Ashley too.
I yes. Now
Yeah,
when I don't know if I remember
she
Ashley
was
too.
she was towards the end of the show though. I mean, she was my assistant. She also was a co-host. I cannot think of her last name right now though.
Now who there was a young black lady that you had there that was kind of like assistant host.
Yeah, that's Ashley.
Okay. Oh, that's Ashley too.
Yes.
Okay. I am so I feel awful now. I thought you were calling her Ashy all this time, and I did not. I'm just teasing. No, I'm just Ashley. Okay, that was Ashley. Okay.
Yeah, she ended up getting a job working for a radio station out in Michigan. So
Okay, cool. Yes, because also she did know her stuff. She
yeah, oh yeah,
I think she had trouble being actually on the air from time. I think that's what I think.
yeah. In the beginning,
Yeah.
she was nervous for sure,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but I mean, I knew what she was going to school for. I knew it was a temporary thing. I didn't think she was going to leave so quickly, but because I really enjoyed her being on the show and helping me out, because I would teach her how to set up the whole show and do everything, and so it was less work on me. Um, and she did an amazing job, and I'm very happy that she got a job with a bigger station and stuff like that. So
Cool. That's cool. Now you were doing music. First of all, how did Epic become your? Well, was Epic your rap name, or is that just what you make the kids call you?
no, that's my rap name. Yeah,
Okay, so you were doing rap like what, 30 years ago? How long ago did you
yeah.
start?
I started doing it professionally at 17. I actually started writing songs when I was 12, though.
Oh, okay. So you s- did you take a break from doing rap while you were doing the radio
Yes.
thing?
Yeah. I mean, there was every so often I record a song or something, but it wasn't like something I was pursuing.
But you're back to doing that now?
Yes.
Or now has your approach to rap changed? Your approach to the industry changed from the time that you did it and then you took your
Yeah,
break?
I think I have a better understanding of like how the industry works. I had a decent understanding before the show, but I really was able to see the other side of it. Because like before it was just as the artist side.
Right. Yeah.
um I so I wasn't taking submissions or anything like that, or like knowing what the industry was really looking for with that kind of thing.
Right.
Now I have a better understanding of that, and I made a lot of connections doing the show as well.
Now, yeah, how long did you do the radio show? Was that 5
5 years.
years? That was 5 years, right? Okay, I wrote it down. Now, the when you started doing it as opposed to when you finished up, did you have like one concept of what it was going to be like? And how was that when you came to the end? How did it match up to what you thought it was going to be like, or you know?
Um, so in the beginning, we didn't really take it seriously at all.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we were just doing it to do something, to just have fun. And uh, but with me, the way everything works with me is that I almost do nothing just for fun. There's always,
Right.
like I always end up like, oh, okay, this is working. What else can we do with this? Like, um, because I do so many different things, like, because I do websites, like I do websites for people. I do graphic design. I mix and master my own music. I
Okay.
produce. I write for myself and others. Um, I'm actually an ordained minister now.
Oh, cool, cool.
Um,
Any particular denomination?
nope. I actually did it kind of as a joke. Well, I see.
Or to save money, so when your kids got old enough to get married, you could do it yourself and save yourself some money.
I mean, yeah, absolutely, right.
With 4 kids, oh well, actually not, but you wouldn't be paying for 4 weddings. What is it, two? How many?
I have 3 girls.
3 weddings. Oh, now would be a good time to find a religion where they have to give you a dowry.
What's crazy is I'm not really even religious.
Right.
I really only did it so that I could make some side money on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it's weird, but like, wedding season, you know. But I thought it was interesting that I do have the option to create my own church.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's been interesting. Um, I and it kind of brings me to my album a little bit.
Okay.
Um, so when I decided to do that, I literally did it. I did it online, as
Right.
most people do nowadays, and I did it like during a lunch at work.
Okay.
Just because like I was like, oh, let's see how quick it is to do this. Add another title to my belt, right? And then I'm like, and like I just think it's funny. So this coming album, I actually named it the Church of Epic,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
kind of based on that. And what I'm the whole point of this album is to kind of like catch people up of where I've been and what I've been doing, and uh, dealing with mental health and stuff like that. And I'm doing it in a way to where, like I was looking at like the side of it from the perspective of a church. Like what they do is they'll take Bible stories and they'll relate it to real life,
Right.
right? Well, I'm taking real life and relating it to Bible stories.
Okay.
So, um, but in a way that isn't like I wouldn't consider it Christian rap at all because I
Right.
still cuss and all of that. You know what I mean? In
Right.
the songs, um, but it is funny how like you can relate certain things um back to religion and vice versa. And I always thought that the relationship between the two was interesting, so I wanted to explore that.
Oh, okay. You're talking to I'm also, I mean, I'm a former minister. Only I didn't do the online thing. I actually went to a physical class in a physical building with physical students, and physical paper and pens. Yeah.
Yeah, I cheated.
Yeah. Also, but this is also a while ago. This was back 90s. Yeah. Wow. Late 80s, early 90s. I can't even. Yeah. This was the advent of in the internet. I don't even sure the internet was just a military concept back then. So now I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask you to if by chance you do have some of your music, we can listen to it, or we can when I'm doing rolling credits, I can play them, or or but
I can play something.
okay.
Actually, oh, you know what? Actually, I did a little short video. I don't know how I'm gonna play it though. I'm gonna try to figure that out.
Well, if you, I have a segment of the show of your show that we did to get when I was on your show that I can play if you need a little time to set something up.
Oh, I think I figured it out.
Oh, okay.
So give me one moment.
Let's give it a
Let me
shot.
see if this works. All right.
Oh, okay. So let me hit this.
Feeling lost in my own thoughts, and I'm in my head now. I am falling, but I can take it, and I will make it. No time to waste, 'cause I ain't falling, no.
The amount of shit I've dealt with in my life. Sometimes I fucking wonder how I made it out alright. This is the kind of shit that keeps me up at night. When I go down that rabbit hole, there is no end in sight. I get lost in my head, toss and turn when I'm in bed. Can't fucking sleep half the time, this feeling of dread. And all the things I should have done that I should have said. But there's nothing I can do about it, no use to pretend. Yeah.
Lost in my own thoughts, and I'm in my head now. I am falling, but I can take it, and I will make it. No time to waste, 'cause
Oh, cool.
There's a little snippet. Yep.
Alrighty. Yeah, cool. Now I have a see. While that was going, I actually wrote a separate question that has nothing to do with the music, but it was basically um, Bec- again, I asked you if your perspective of your business and radio had no, I mean if rap had if your perspective of rap or what you did as a musician changed between the break, you know, that you took to do the radio. But what about the other businesses? Like for example, what did you think of comedians before you had to interview them as opposed to the way they are now? I'm not the I mean over the because over the 5 years you had to deal with them.
Yeah. So the question is like how do I view comedians
Oh,
now?
like for before you had to interview them, like you may have just viewed them as from a viewpoint of a fan because you hadn't worked with them yet,
Yeah.
and so it was
Um.
more like oh he's funny, but once you get to work with them, then you get to see some of the
Yeah.
sausage making.
Yeah. So there's a lot of work that goes into comedy, which I admire. Um. It's one part that I can tell little jokes and stuff, and I can come up with things on the spot, but like I'm not very good at writing comedy, so that intrigues me quite a bit. Um, most people were just people, and you realize that really quickly. Like, they're appreciative of the time I'm giving them, um, and I'm making it about them. So it's a great platform for them as well, to add to their press kit. That was one of the reasons why I did that. Because I was like, sometimes with these comedians, it was their first like interview,
Right.
so it was a stepping stone to the next part. I knew that eventually I was hoping to get to that level to where I could, like get millions of people to listen and be a real uh, breakthrough for them. Unfortunately, it didn't come to that fruition. I mean, I think at our peak we were only reaching maybe 20, 30,000 people. But um, but it's weird because um, like I would just be going down the street and people will recognize me or recognize some of the cast and stuff. But to kind of go back to your question, like you just realize how much you have in common with other people.
Right.
So some people it was kind of one and done. I didn't really talk to them too much after that, and then there's others that I actually formed like a friendship with, like you.
That's well, that's because I was stalking you. It's that's I appreciate the fact that because you did radio and you did what you did for so long, you were able to get your clip up so quickly. And I was like, it caught me off guard. It just popped up. Was like, oh, that's right. He can do that. He's good.
Yeah, like, a lot of practice doing this stuff. So yeah.
That was the first thing I thought of when it popped up. I was like, oh, he's good. Because from even from my own end, it would take me a while and be like, this. But again, it's okay. I have a clip
I
from
love Restream though. I mean, they're
yeah,
a great platform,
yeah,
uh, and I used to use them quite a bit. So
yeah, and it's because I have well, I use Restream now. I have Zoom, the professional Zoom package also. But there's some people who don't have like with Restream. It looks works really well with Chrome, Google Chrome.
it does, and I really,
Almost like it was designed for that.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was GD.
Mm, mm,
But anyways, like what I was gonna say though is I really didn't use the platform like it is, like you're using it.
right,
I would use that kind of as a bridge. We actually use vMix, which
right,
is a professional program that like tied into different ones, because Restream you can only reach so much on Restream, especially either free or um, either the free version or some of the paid ones. You gotta pay.
yeah,
Um, so we'd have different ones that we would have the show broadcast to, and then we would upload the show later onto the podcast side of it too.
right. Hi, I'm GD Fenderson, certified forensic humorist and host of Done Way Past Funny. Thank you for watching our continued interview with Epic, and please come back to watch more of our interview with Epic. And when you come back to join us, bring a friend.